it's Michelle. I'm here to do kind of a fun coffee chat where, as many of you know, I put together the bags for the women's shelter near me. I'm just going to put them together while I talk to you. I thought it'd be kind of fun. I'll show you what's in the first one, but the rest I'll just be putting together while I talk to you because they all have the same stuff in them. I had to show you this shirt though before I say anything else. Isn't this cute? It says, "You serious, Clark?" You know what that's from, right? I hope you know what it's from. If you know what it's from, leave me a Christmas tree emoji down in the comments section. I wanted to show you something that I thought was really sweet. My friend Barb, she recently went on a trip to go see her family for Thanksgiving. And she went to a few thrift shops while she was on her trip. And she brought me a couple presents, and I just wanted to show them to you really quick. Look at this. She knows how much I love owls, and she got me this. This is an antique. The brand is Hefton. And she used to have an antique shop, and she said if you see this sticker on the bottom of stuff and it's in good quality, you might want to buy it because it's going to be worth a lot of money. So I'm going to put this on the mantle. Isn't it cute though? It's so pretty. I love it. So if you're watching, thank you again, Barb. I really love my owl. And then she knows that I am collecting Currier and Ives, so she also got me this beautiful platter. And I'm excited because since we're finally moving into a house, I can actually put these in a hutch and have them on display and get to look at them. So that'll be really wonderful. In each one, I have a Ipsy bag that I don't really need. I've got so many Ipsy bags, I don't need them all. And inside there is a pad, some tampons, some panty liners. I found out on their website that they need those. I didn't know they did. I just assumed they had a bunch, but they don't. A Pearlie's face mask. Some razors, some shaving cream, pencils, shampoo, hand lotion, a nail file, and then I've got these cute little bags that I found at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put I'm going to put some of this Dove candy in there. This is dark chocolate peppermint bark. I thought, oh, that sounds yummy. So I'm going to put that in here with some of these little hair phone cords, a little Vaseline tub, some lip gel, nail polish, okay, that's all the little things. Okay, maybe I'll put the nail file in here too. It's cute. Okay, some fuzzy socks, 2 more face masks. Wow, I really went mask happy on this bag. The truth is too though, I have so many face masks, and the only time I ever do face masks is when I'm with my mom, and so that's maybe once or twice a year, but I never do them on my own. I always forget. And then this packet here with toothpaste, a toothbrush, and a little toothbrush cover. And then each one also has an adult coloring book. One thing I have learned is that one of the best ways to de-stress is to color in a coloring book. I don't know what it is. It's just very soothing and relaxing. Kind of puts things in perspective. So I thought it'd be really nice to put those in there. Oh, here's what the bags look like. I thought these were so cute. The bag collapsed itself while I was trying to do this. Okay, let's try. There we go. Okay. Oh, that fit nicely in there. The coloring book. And I normally fluff this up and make it nice and pretty, but I think by the time they get this, it's probably been moved around a bit and probably doesn't look pretty. I'm just going to lay it over the top and just kind of help keep things from falling out. I kept thinking of more things to put in these bags, and I'm glad I didn't end up getting anything else because they're a little on the heavy side. And they're full. And in case you haven't watched these videos in the past about the women's shelter care packages, what I do is I just have these. These are also from the Dollar Tree. I just stack them. I do 5 at a time. I fill them up with stuff, and once the box is full, I know it's time to take another care package down. It's a nice way to donate and to help people without feeling like I'm breaking the bank because it's spread out over time. It's not all at once. If I did all this in one day, I wouldn't be able to do it because that'd be too much money at once. So that's the method to my madness. That's how I do it. In case you're interested in putting these together for your local shelter, that's how I do it. And it's very, very easy, and it always feels good to drop them off. Got my mug here. This is not a Christmas mug. This is my Guardians of the Galaxy 2 mug. And you might think that this is Brad's mug, but it's actually my mug. I really like the second one. I don't know why, I just do. But my favorite character is Groot. And he just looks so cute right there that I had to have this. I'm drinking peppermint mocha coffee. One thing that's kind of frustrating about this shirt, though, I ordered it online. I was so excited. And then when I got here, it's quite a bit bigger than I thought it would be, to the point where, to me, it kind of looks like a pajama top. So I don't think I'm going to wear it out. Maybe after I wash it, it'll shrink, and then I can wear it out. But as it is right now, I'm not going to wear this when I leave the house. I wanted to share with you something that I did last year at this time, and it was really cathartic and wonderful. What I did was I did a cleanse or a detox, however you want to word it. And what I did was I went and I got a lot of the news apps that I had on my phone. I got them off my phone because I felt like the news was pulling me down. Not even politically, but just some of the stuff that I was reading. It was just made me kind of lose my faith in humanity. You know, that father kills all of his kids and then his wife, and you know, that kind of stuff. It's just, oh, it's just too much to read about. And then I got tired of all the celebrity gossip. I don't really care that Ben Affleck says he'd still be a alcoholic if he was married to Jennifer Garner, and why he said it, and does he feel bad, and what does J-Lo think about it? Like, that was my final straw yesterday. I was like, well, geez, like, they're really bombarding me with stuff that is not my business and that I don't really care about. I thought it's time. I got to do another cleanse here. After I get the news stuff off, I'm now going to go through my email and unsubscribe to all these things that I keep getting that I don't really want. For example, Tarte. They keep sending me emails wanting me to buy stuff, and well, I had signed up for them before I even had Ipsy. Now that I have Ipsy, I don't use my Tarte. I don't buy things directly from them anymore. If I want to buy their products, I just buy them from Ipsy. So stuff like that. It starts really clogging up my inbox very quickly, having those kinds of emails and subscriptions and such. So I'm going to go through, delete all those. I'm going to go on YouTube and unfollow the people and subscribe to the people that I don't watch anymore. I'm going to do that everywhere, all of my social media sites. So I have a confession to make. I compare myself to other people. Pretty much anybody. I can find things about them that are better than me. I can blow things out of proportion in my head about how imperfect and terrible my life is, and why can't I have that, or why can't I be that, or whatever. I mean, it's so many things. I can't even list them all. But I found that when things get into my head, and it's not the other person's fault, they're just being them. Social media is everybody's highlight reel. We don't post the arguments that we have with our spouse, or our PMS days, or the days that we decided to not shower and lay around all day. We don't post that kind of stuff. We don't show everybody all the dishes in our sink. It's just the highlight reels. And so it's easy for people to think that we have perfect lives. And I'm very guilty of watching people and just thinking, oh my gosh, yep, they have it all. They have everything. And there might be people that look at me and think that. To me, I have a boring life, but to other people it might not be. I think everybody that just a little bit, there's something in me that just gets irritated every time I see something. It affects me in a negative way, or it makes me start comparing myself to them and then judging myself. Those are the people that I'm going to delete. You don't have to unfriend them. You can just unfollow them. So they don't even know that you're not looking at their bragging anymore. They have no idea. And that's probably the best way to do it, because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But you just have to take care of your mental sanity. That's how I look at it. And by the way, I just want to say, the day that I'm filming this is my mom's birthday. So I want to say happy birthday. I know a lot of you guys on here know my mom. I talked to her this morning. We had a nice, or actually I guess it was this afternoon. We had a nice, good talk. And what else here? Let me think. Oh, I wanted to tell you about this discussion I had on the phone that I just thought was so funny. Well, I thought it was. As you know, we're moving, and we have to, after we clean the apartment, we have to do a final walkthrough, and then we're done. Turn in the keys and all that. I like to plan everything ahead of time. So I called down there. To see if I could schedule it now. And I said, the lease is officially up on the 27th of January. I wanted to see if we could schedule a time, before or around there to meet up and do our walkthrough. And the lady says, okay, well, I'm not going to be here on the 27th, but I'm pretty sure someone, maybe one of the maintenance guys will, and he can walk you through. And I said, well, she goes, of course, they don't normally do walkthroughs. And I said, well, if you'd rather do it, that's fine. Would you like me to come in on the 25th or something? Because she kept saying the 27th is a Sunday. So I said, well, how about the 25th? And she says, oh, I'm not going to be here on the 24th or the 25th. And I said, oh, okay, well, And she said, yeah, we're not even going to be open those days. And I said, you're not? And she said, no, we're not going to be open. And I said, oh, huh, okay. And she goes, ma'am, I'm not sure why that would be surprising to you. And I said, well, is there some reason I would have known that you'd be closed on the 24th and the 25th? And she says, well, ma'am, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I deserve to spend time with my family too. And I said, well, what does this have to do with your family? And she goes, well, because it's Christmas. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I said January 25th. And she's like, oh. So we just were laughing so hard. And I just thought it was so funny. I had to tell you because she's trying so hard to be nice to me, thinking I'm this vile person that wants her to come in on Christmas and do an apartment walkthrough like it's even important, right? She's probably thinking, what the heck? And I thought it was too funny. So I had to tell you that story because we probably all had something weird like that happen, right? I went to go get rung up at the grocery store the other day. And I try to really go out of my way to be nice to people that work retail or just people in service jobs at all, because I used to work retail for years and I know what it's like. It's hard enough as it is, but the holidays, the people that are unhappy really get to wear you down and just tear you apart emotionally. And so, which reminds me of my grandmother. She worked, hi grandma, which reminds me of her because she worked retail for, I think 30 years or something before she retired. And she used to hate working Christmas. And because people would be so nasty. And I used to love when I worked retail. I loved going over to her house during the holidays and venting to her about all the horrible things that these people were doing to me at JCPenney or whatever store I was working in at the time. And she used to, oh, I know, they're so terrible. And it was just so kind of a bonding thing, you know, that we used to do. Talk about how rude everybody is. So I go out of my way to try to be as nice and accommodating and understanding as possible because I know what they're going through and it's really not fun. And so part of why I'm mentioning that is please go out of your way to be nice to people. People that are trying to help you out. It's so stressful. So I was talking to the lady that rang me up at the grocery store. And I said to her, is everybody being nice to you today? You know, and so we were talking and she was telling me how some people are getting mad because the same thing. They're getting mad because they're not open on Christmas. I can't wrap my head around this. I told her, I don't get it. Christmas comes the same day every year. We know ahead of time. We know when it's going to be. Is there a reason people can't prepare for it a little bit? I mean, my gosh, right? So we were just kind of laughing about it. And I told her the worst story I have when it comes to people expecting people to work on the holidays. And I thought you guys might like to hear it. I used to work at a daycare and I worked in the baby room. And so that was my thing. I had 4 babies under 6 months old at a time. So I always thought twins would be easy. Well, one of the parents came in one day and they had 3 kids that all went to this daycare. And I used to watch one of the other kids. Sometimes if there weren't enough babies that showed up in the morning, I would go to one of the toddler rooms and they had a child over there too. Well, so the parents come in one day to pick up their kids and they said, are you here on Christmas? And I said, no, we're not here on Christmas or Christmas Eve. And they said, oh, well, Is there any way that we could get you to come in? And I said, nope. No. And this just happened to be the year that my oldest nephew, Vaco, it was his first Christmas, and he's 17 now. So this was a long time ago. But I was so excited about finally meeting my nephews. I was going to be meeting him when I went home from work that night. That's why I remember it so vividly. And they told me, well, we don't want to watch our kids on Christmas Eve or Christmas. And we've got family coming over, and we just don't want to be bothered with our kids. And I started laughing because I thought they were joking. They weren't. They really didn't want to be around their own kids. And I just couldn't wrap my head around why people have kids if they don't want them. They don't want to be around them, especially on holidays. It's just crazy to me. And I found out later that that couple, the wife and the couple, didn't even work. They dropped the kids off every day so she didn't have to deal with them during the day. You can't make this stuff up. So what they ended up doing, one of my friends that worked at that daycare, she didn't have anything that she was dying to do on Christmas that year. So they paid her 3 times what she normally makes an hour to come spend the whole week with her or with them and watch their kids. So that it was kind of like a fake nanny kind of thing. And so, I mean, at least she made bank on it, but I still will never understand that. I always, so to me, that's the very worst Christmas story ever. These parents that didn't want to be around their own kids. And it makes me kind of grateful, you know, when I think about it, that I had parents that used to argue over who got me because they both wanted me. So I may be a pain in the butt, but at least they wanted me around. So that's something to be grateful for, right? But I think it's important to always think about what we're grateful for and what all the things that we do have, because it's easy to think about all the things we don't have. I want to know what you're doing this year for Christmas and Christmas Eve. You might be wondering what Brad and I are doing. We are going to, tonight, we're going to go spend, well, we're going to have dinner and then go to Dave and Buster's with Brad's sister and our nephews. And we're excited because we haven't seen them in a long time. And get to spend some time with them and play games and all that. I think it'll be really fun. And tomorrow I'm going to be starting with the Christmas cooking. Especially I've got 2 pie crusts that I have to make, that kind of stuff. You know, just some of the stuff I can do ahead of time. And we're going to go to Midnight Mass, which I'm so excited about. I haven't been to Midnight Mass since I went, gosh, it's been a long time. It's been at least 20 years. Back when I used to go regularly, well, a couple of years in a row anyway, I used to go with my grandparents to Midnight Mass. I used to go to them with them to Mass in general, and it was always nice because they were in the choir, so we'd sit up in the front, and I never went to practice, but I'd sing with them, and then after church we would have they used to have where you could donate, you know, $5 and have breakfast there, and it felt like such a nice sense of community, and I have so many fond memories of that. I think it's hard to not think about, this year especially, I've been having a hard time getting into the holidays, and I've been thinking about my grandparents a lot. They're both gone, and it just seemed like they were the ones that kind of kept us all together. They would have the white elephant parties, and they wanted the first Thursday of every month, everybody would meet up for lunch that could, and it just seemed, everything felt more connected with them. So if you have anybody that you're missing this year, don't feel alone. I feel the same way. There's a lot of other people that feel that way. I think it's hard to not feel, especially now, just with all the changes our society's been going through and all the division and everything that's been going on for years. I think it's so hard to not feel kind of sad and lonely at the holidays. It's like the real meaning of the holiday just seems to be lost, and it's just sad. And so many people get so overwhelmed with it all. I know someone that used to just really get overwhelmed with the holidays and all the things they were trying to do, and you know, all the gifts they were trying to give and the things they were trying to cook, and it kind of stressed everyone around them out to where it was harder to enjoy the holidays at all. Because it's just like, would you please just sit down and calm down? And it's like, I'm trying to make it perfect. It's like, but in that stress, it made it less perfect for everybody. I'm just trying to think about, and because we're doing coffee chat, I'm just telling you about what I'm thinking. I think it's important to think about what the real meaning of Christmas is, and try to remember to just enjoy the moment, be in the moment, enjoy being around people. You never know. I was watching somebody's video. It was another coffee chat, actually, and she was saying the same thing. You never know when it's your last holiday with somebody. And you never know, it might be their last holiday with you. I mean, you don't know the way life is. We have a lot of people in this neighborhood that just stop and honk. Not just once or twice, but like 25 times for a long time, for like 3 seconds straight, over and over and over again. And we get so frustrated. It's like, use a cell phone? It's just so loud. And it's like, is there, okay, one, you have a cell phone. Probably. Most people do now. You can't just call and say I'm here. 2, is there a reason the person that you're picking up can't look out for you? You know, obviously they're going to walk down anyway when you get here. Why aren't they waiting for you or looking for you? Or why don't they hear the first honk? Or like Brad just said, is there a reason you can't get out of your car and go knock on the door? It's like people just don't want to be considerate of other people anymore. I know my parents raised me, and Brad's parents raised him, and your parents probably did too, to always think about other people and how what you're doing might affect them. So maybe don't honk the horn because maybe somebody's trying to take a nap, or just being considerate of other people. Not even just what they might have to hear you doing, but how you are. I know my parents raised me to, if I'm on a bus and somebody who's older than me is there and there's nowhere to sit, give up my seat for them, which I don't see anybody doing anymore. Or if I'm walking up to a door at a mall or wherever, and they're not electric doors and there's somebody older in front of me, open the door for them. Or, you know, whatever. Why is it so hard to be nice to people? Just the littlest thing. They're so rude and I'm tired of it. I'm sorry that I've said so many weird things. I hope you enjoyed just sitting and having some coffee with me. I know I ramble, but then again, isn't that what coffee talk is all about? I think. Please cross your fingers for us. We're trying to get a house right now. Hopefully we get it. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't, but I feel like this day and age, they want so much. I was surprised that they didn't ask me on my application who the first boy I kissed was, and can I give them a, hair sample, and can my cat come stay with them for a week so they know that she's nice. And I mean, they want so much in every aspect of your life, and it's like, dang, I'm just trying to live in a house. I'm not trying to I don't know, adopt a kid or something. You would think that would be more involved, but it feels like things are changing so fast and so much. And I'm not sent a memo every morning when I wake up, but people think I should have got the memo because I feel like people look at me like I'm stupid if I don't know things. And at this point, if I woke up tomorrow and suddenly everybody drove on the left-hand side of the road instead of the right, I wouldn't be surprised because things just keep changing in the wildest ways. For example, I went to the bank. I needed to get, since we're trying to get a house, I needed to get a money order to, you got to do pay for the background check and that kind of stuff. So I go to a bank, and it's a bank, like a physical bank, not an ATM. And I walk in, and there's just a bunch of desks and offices, but there's no counter with tellers behind it. And I'm like, what is this? So I'm looking around, I'm thinking, well, I don't know where to go. And there's something that kind of looks like an ATM. It's like a TV screen, and there's a woman there like, hi, how may I help you? And it's like, is there like a robot that's going to come out and help me? Or I'm like, what is this? So finally somebody comes out and says, hi, how can I help you? And I said, oh, I need to get a money order. And she goes, oh, we don't have a teller here today. And I'm like, I'm in a bank, right? I'm not trying to be a smart aleck or anything, but you're assuming there's going to be a teller in a bank. And then she says, yeah, our teller's off today, so we have another bank. Now, thank God I'm in a big city, right? She says, we have another bank a couple blocks down the road. They might have a teller there today. And I'm thinking, what, am I going to have to drive all over the place trying to find a teller? I can't wrap my head around it. It's like going to McDonald's and them saying, we don't serve burgers anymore. We are now a shoe store. It's like, what? So, and I did get that look like I'm just the biggest idiot on the planet. I should know these things. So I go to the other bank, and they do have tellers right when I walk in. I'm thinking, okay, I found my home. And they were very nice and helpful. And I did tell the greeter that they have at the door what happened. And she said, oh, so now you have to go to a full service bank. And that's where the tellers are. But otherwise, they can't really help you with much of anything if you go inside. And I'm thinking. So she says to me, what? And I said, I was just curious. Why aren't they all in an office building somewhere if they don't actually help customers? And she goes, your guess is as good as mine. But you're supposed to know that. There's nothing outside that indicates that it's not a full service branch. You just need to know it. And if you go in and you don't know it, you're the idiot. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's just so many places are changing so much of what they are or what they do. And there is no memo. Please let me know what you're doing this holiday season down in the comments. I want to hear all about it. If you're cooking, let me know what you're cooking. Oh, I should probably tell you that too real quick. I am cooking a traditional Italian dinner. That's what Brad's mother has always done for their family. And it's something that I learned how to do so that I can continue that tradition on, because we both really love having the traditional Italian meal. Now, I don't go as all out when it's just he and I as I would if a bunch of people were coming over. Usually it would entail, let's see, you would have spaghetti, sauce made from scratch, ravioli, meatballs, sausages, fish, shrimp, cocktail sauce, obviously some kind of dessert. There's usually hors d'oeuvres, maybe salad, breadsticks. I mean, it's a big meal, and you take quite a bit of time to eat it. What he and I are doing, since it's just us this year, is I'm making this sauce from scratch. I'm making spaghetti and ravioli and meatballs and sausage. And we're doing shrimp. Brad always makes the cocktail sauce because he makes really good cocktail sauce. It's a little spicy, but we love it. It's like spicier than it would be in a restaurant, but we really like it. And what else? Oh, I'm making, what am I making for dessert? It's some kind of mandarin orange dessert. I can't remember what it is. Oh, and then every year in the morning, I make German cheese pie for brunch. And we eat that for breakfast on Christmas. And then the next couple of days until we're out of all of it. But the food's going to be good. I can tell you that. So I guess the only thing I'm really not doing is the salad, the hors d'oeuvres, the breadsticks, the fish. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Whatever you do happen to celebrate, I hope it's a happy one. If you don't celebrate anything, I hope you have a wonderful weekend anyway. I love you. Bye.